In this video we will see that what is meant by weighted average and how we basically find weighted average. And basically in the previous videos we have learned about arithmetic mean or simple mean or average. They all mean the same, but the difference between the weighted average and the simple average, or the you can say arithmetic mean, is that this weighted arithmetic mean or weighted average is similar to the ordinary arithmetic mean, but the difference is that instead of each of the data point that contributes equally to the final average, but here some data values contribute more than the others, and that contribution is decided by the weight of that particular data value or data point. Okay, so in order to know that which data value is contributing more in the average and which is contributing less in the average, we multiply that weightage with the data value. Okay, so let's see its formula, that is sum of x into w over sigma w. The sigma w is the sum of all the weights that we will be given in our data, and then firstly what we do, we take the data value and multiply by its weight that is given to you, and after multiplying we take the sum of all those multiplicated values, and then we divide by total by the sum of the weights, not total number of weights but by the sum of the weights, right? In the previous simple arithmetic mean we used to divide by n, that is total number of values, and we didn't use to multiply with w, but here we multiply with w and divide with by the total sum of the weights. Okay, so let's see it with example, though this is very simple, but let's see this example. So this is the problem. It says that instructor gives 4 1-hour exams. Now see carefully, 4 1-hour exams and one final exam which counts as 2 1-hour exams. Okay, find student's grade if she received these scores on 1-hour exams and 82 on the final exam. So basically if you concentrate, we are not directly told to find the weighted average, we are just told to find the student's grade. But if you see carefully, some weightage is given to the scores. How? See here, instructor gives 4 1-hour exams. See here in the solution, I have written it over here. First 1-hour exam, we are given 4 1-hour exams. It means totally we have the exams which are of 1 hour are 4 exams are of 1 hour, right? Each exam is of 1 hour, and one final exam which counts as 2 1-hour exam. There is also one final exam, only one. Here we have 4 1-hour exams, here we have one final exam, so one final exam. Okay, and now we have to mention the scores as it is. Okay, so and see here, one final exam which counts as 2 1-hour exams, which counts as 2 1-hour exams, mean that although this is only you can say one final exam, but its weightage is 2, right? That one final hour exam is of weightage 2 1-hour exam. It means that its weightage is 2. So you can see over here what I have written, and the weightage of the final exam is weight is 2, right? And how we are going to mention the grades? See here, as we have told that we have 4 1-hour exams, right? So these are the scores of the 4 1-hour exams. First exam, second, third and fourth. Okay, and this is the grade of the final exam as the statement says. So in the first 1-hour exam the grade is 62, its weight is 1. How 1? Because we are told that there are 4 1-hour exams. If there are total 4 exams, then you can write it like this: first, second, third, fourth, and there are also 1-hour exams, so its weightage is only 1 hour, so the weights are 1. But we are told in the final exam that their weightage is as 2 1-hour exams. It means that we have to write weightage as 2. So, and this is the grade of the final exam, right? I hope you have gotten it. Just read the statement once again, you will understand it. Okay, so now let's go to the formula. It says that sum of all data values multiplied by its weightage over sum of all the weights, right? So you can see we are given these weights 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have written all the weights over here, sum of all the weights, and first data value, that is 62, multiplied by its weight, x comma w, right? So this is our x, this is our w, plus, because we have to take the sum, right? Sum of all xw's. So second x, its weight, third value, its weight, another value and its weight. This is how we solve it, x into w plus second x into w, and like this. Okay, you can see the formula, data value multiplied by its weight over sum of all the weights. So in this way we can get our weighted average. So this is our weighted average, that is the, you can say, average grade out of all these grades, 82.7. okay, so after weighted average we have some another, you can say, common points that you can see over here, and I have also discussed about them when we were talking about variance and standard deviations. But let's see it for now, that when we are told in any from any data that you have to find that which data out of these two is more variable, or in other words the question can be that which data is, you can say, more consistent. So definitely the data that is less variable is more consistent, right? So if we are told to find which data set is more variable, it means that ultimately we are going to find the coefficient of variation, and that coefficient of variation value tells us that if that coefficient of variation for the first data set is higher, that the value is higher than the second data set, it means our first data set is more variable and less consistent. So as we have discussed about this coefficient of variance in the standard deviation, so the formula was standard deviation over mean into 100, and for this we definitely need to find this standard deviation first of all. Go into that video to see how we do all this procedure. I have just explained that you may not directly be asked to find standard deviation or variance, but just asked to find the and that which data set is more variable, right? So we use this formula over there. Okay, so next we have the Pearson coefficient of skewness. Okay, so skewness means that the you can say the distribution of the graph, that where it is more aligned, the graph is normal or symmetric, skew symmetric, positive symmetric, or like this. Okay, so in order to just instead of just guessing from the graph that which data that whether it is right, you can say right skewed or symmetric or like this, we can guess it from the formula also. Okay, so the formula for finding the skewness is 3 into mean minus median over standard deviation. Okay, so now see the example. Okay, we can understand from here, like we are given the mean, median and standard deviation, and we have to find the skewness of these values. So 3 into mean minus median over the standard deviation is 2, and now as the skewness is 2, that is positive 2, so whenever your coefficient of skewness comes positive, it means that your distribution is positively skewed. And now in the next case, see the next example. Here we have to find the skewness for this data. It is minus 2.25. So when your coefficient of skewness is negative, your distribution shape or the graph of the shape will be negatively skewed. Okay, so the next example, or you can say you can directly see this, that if the coefficient of skewness is 0, if the coefficient of, you solve this example and you get 0, it means that your shape is symmetric, right? It is normally distributed. There is no, you can say, any skewness, any outliers. Okay, so in that case your coefficient of skewness is 0, your shape is symmetric. So that's it for this video. I hope you have got this little few concepts. So thank you.